Dr. Jason Fung is the world authority when it comes to fasting. He's written the Bible on fasting. It's called The Complete Guide to Fasting. In the upcoming video, you will see Megan Ramos as well as Angel Ramos. Megan Ramos is the clinical director of Dr. Fung's clinic, and Angel Ramos is her husband. Now, she was gracious enough in Toronto to give us this interview. In this specific video, she will talk about what you should do when you are dealing with feeling guilty about eating a lot of food, how you should feel, how you should react. So, enjoy the show. How do you get back to eating normally, several meals a day, for instance, if you aren't used to doing that without feeling guilty?
How do you go back to
Yeah, like if she feels guilty eating a lot of food, and now she wants to feed herself and kind of like eat normally, how to not feel guilty about it?
Make sure you're eating the right things. We educate our patients and we talk to them about the hormonal response to the three primary macros. So fats, protein, and carbohydrates. And I tell a patient, never feel guilty for eating a whole head of broccoli, because sometimes you break your fast and for other reasons, high cortisol levels, whatever, you're just really famished. And you've had a long day, your kids are sick, you're ready to rip out your hair, like taxes are due. And so the fasting didn't work in terms of lowering your hunger, and you're just ravenous for whatever reason that day. So patients come in and they say, we feel so guilty because we ended up eating so much food, but what did you eat? Like a whole bunch of vegetables, but then we went back and we had salad, and we had a few extra chicken wings, things like that. We had an extra chicken drumstick. Don't ever feel guilty about eating stuff that's not throwing your hormonal imbalances off. Yeah, if you were to eat the thing of pasta and meatballs and just increase your insulin levels, back up through the roof, then that sort of defeats everything that you did during your fasting period. But if you eat a whole head of cauliflower, who cares? Eat a whole head of cauliflower. It's not going to put you in any detriment. So sometimes you do need to eat more. And sometimes we actually encourage patients to eat more to break through plateaus. To help boost them, particularly fat. So never feel guilty when you're doing something that's okay for your body. I never feel guilty, sitting down and scarfing down on vegetables or eating 2 pounds of chicken wings some days if you're stressed. Patients or bacon. Patients sometimes will say they were too stressed to eat or too stressed to fast. But they know that they need to eat, so then they feel guilty and then they go to McDonald's and say, no, just eat the fat, never feel guilty about eating good food. And I'm a big stress eater, so during stressful times I don't even try. And so when we were doing sort of our immigration stuff, a lot of the work was on me here to organize our entire relationship in a Rubbermaid bin to send to Immigration Canada. And I wanted to rip out my hair, and I was just surrounded by a whole bunch of junk food at the time. I was using my mother's dining room table, and she eats like crap. And so I just made sure that I ate, and maybe my meal timing was off and everything that day. But I had one day that I had to get it organized, and I didn't care. I just stuck to all of the good foods. I had eggs, I had lots of vegetables, I had bacon, lots of coconut oil. I make little fat bombs of cocoa powder and coconut oil. So anytime I would have gone for a chocolate, I went for one of those instead. And my weight wasn't up the next day. I, didn't get tired throughout the day. I was able to persevere and get everything I needed done, and didn't make any mistakes because they didn't send us back our box. Yeah. So I was clearly, conscious the whole time and focused, and I wasn't bloated, and I slept well, and everything was great. So never feel bad about eating good food, just be mindful of the metabolic response to the kinds of foods that you're eating. And if you're eating something that's not going to throw your system off, is not going to raise your insulin levels, well, then who cares? You're eating that day, and that's fine. So don't feel guilty about it.